Namaste. So it's been a few days since I made a video. That's because I've been up to here with changes and, everybody's been going through this Mars and Saturn retrograde. So it's been a time to look into your life and especially look into the past and the causes of the situation you're in today. And what do you want to change? How do you want to make it better? So we've all been going through that, and I've been going through it especially because it's in my 10th house of work. So I've been looking at my work and how it's been going well or not going well and what I want to do. So I'm in the middle of a bunch of changes, all kinds of incredible changes in my life. Maybe one of these days when I get a publicly appropriate version of it, you'll get the whole story because it matters. And the topic for today also matters very, very much. Not to me, surprisingly enough, but to you. Aparādha. Ārādha means service, devotional service, bhakti. Aparādha is the opposite. It's disservice. And my Adi Guru gave the example. If I ask you for water and you give me milk, that's not aparādha. That's not Ārādha. That's Aparādha. Why? You might say, well, milk is better than water. But no, I asked for water, and you gave me something else. That's not service. So service is, I ask for water, you give me water. What's so hard to understand about that? But yet, if you're in a position in any area of life where you can demand or expect service from others, you'll find this happening all the time. Aparādha. And of course, the most vicious and dangerous of all aparādha is Gurvaparādha, guru or aparādha, sometimes called offense to the guru. And there's even a higher level, which is called the elephant of offenses. And that is if one is physically violent towards a realized soul. That's as low as you can go. And you will go very low if you do something like that. Now, the result of aparādha is, at best, you become stuck right where you are, and you can't make any further advancement. And at worst, you not only lose your life, but you die in such a way that guarantees you a lower birth in the next life. Let me give you an example, personal from my own life. When I was quite young, 24, 25, I had a student, a music student, a flute student. And we used to do gigs together and all kinds of stuff. We hung out together quite a bit in the early days. And then I went off and went to my guru, and he brought me to India, and so many things happened. And then I came back, and one of the first things I did was look up this old friend. His name is Michael. And I went to visit him, and I preached to him for a solid week until I convinced him, and he came back with me, and he also became a disciple. So this relationship someone who brings you to your Adi Guru, your first sadguru, is called Vartma Guru. The Vartma Guru is stated to deserve as much honor and service as one's initiating guru, or Satguru. So Vartma is a very important relationship in spiritual life. The person who brings you to your guru is really like an anga, a limb of the guru himself. So what happened later on, I left to go to Hawaii. And about the same time, Michael's flute disappeared. Now, I don't know if you know about flutes, but a professional level flute is a pretty expensive piece of gear. It's solid silver and, like that. So, you're looking at a couple $1,000 at least. Michael blamed me. Now, anybody who knows me knows I'm an extremely honest person. I don't envy anyone, and I don't covet anyone's stuff. So, I have a very high level of integrity, and you can watch the Being Integrity series if you want to know what my idea of integrity is. So anyway, Michael didn't understand this. He thought I had stolen his instrument, and he started spreading all kinds of tales about me. So I had gone to Hawaii. I didn't know this was all happening. But one day, Michael shows up in Hawaii. And he starts spreading his tales. Not to my face, but behind my back. And gets me kicked out of the temple. And, of course, I just went to another temple. It was no big deal. But he had made many offenses to his Vartma Guru. Because of this, well, a few years later, I lost touch with him at that time. But a few years later, I met a mutual friend. And I said, hey, what's happening with Michael? And he said, you haven't heard? I said, no, I haven't seen him for years. What's up? He died of an opioid overdose. Now, this was in the 1980s, I guess. Yeah. Must have been late 70s, early 80s. This is before the opioids was a big thing. But he was getting pills from his grandma, sharing her pain meds. A typical scenario, right? Whether it was intentional or not, who knows? Anyway, he's dead. And in a very unpleasant, inauspicious manner, which virtually guarantees him an animal birth, or the lowest of mankind type body in the next life. He did that to himself. He shot himself in the foot by offending one of his gurus. So, I have a little hobby where I check back with old friends and enemies. Sometimes I contact them directly, or sometimes I just look them up online and see what they're up to. And I don't know if I said this before, but you need to know that my enemies are not doing very well. Like I said, at best, they are stuck where they were when they offended me. And at worst, they're dead, insane, or very, very ill. So, I do not wish them evil. I wish them only the best. I want to bring them to my guru so that they can experience the same benefits. But they don't want to do that, so okay. But the problem is, Well, what exactly is an offense? Let's define it precisely. If I don't like what you're saying, is that an offense? No. It's not a subjective thing. It's not a partial thing. It's not someone's opinion. It's a very scientific thing, and it has a bearing on this series, because guess what? We're going to wind up looking at the same old chart again. The 4 siddhantas, the 4 levels of Vedic conclusions and teachings. So a guru has got to be on a higher level than you if he's going to do you any good at all. Ideally, a guru should be in the ajata stage. He should be fully realized. But if fully realized guru is not available, it's okay to find a teacher who can teach you what you need to do to advance the next step. Somebody who's like a few pages ahead of you in the book or a few steps ahead of you on the path. That's another kind of guru. That's an instructing guru. But an initiating guru should be on the highest platform. Now, there's a phenomenon, a very common social phenomenon called crabs in a basket. If you go to the fish market and you go to the guy who's selling crabs, he's got a big basket with dozens of crabs in it and no cover. Don't the crabs run away? No. Sit and watch what happens. Every time one of the crabs tries to climb up the wall of the basket, the other crabs grab him and pull him down. This is the phenomenon, the social phenomenon of envy. There's a difference between jealousy and envy. Jealousy is when someone has something of yours or that you would like to have. Like your girlfriend runs away with your friend's dog or something. It happens these days. So you're jealous. You want your girlfriend back. You think of her as mine. But envy is when you are feeling negative towards someone's inborn or manifested qualities that you can't have. Like you perceive somebody as being more handsome than you, or more intelligent, or richer, or more popular, or whatever. And then that emotion, that negative emotion is called envy. Okay. So the crabs in a basket social phenomenon is driven by envy. When people run across someone who has a quality that they don't, in other words, someone on a higher level, if they're envious, they try to drag that person down. And the incident that started all this was that an Advaita guru left his body. An Advaita guru. When an Advaita, a jnani, dies, drops the body, as far as he's concerned, nothing changes. He's already dropped the body long ago. As far as he's concerned, the body doesn't even exist. It never existed. And neither did the mind and the ego and the world and all the other stuff. So for him to lose any of that is like a non-event. Because the guru, the Advaitin, the jnani is the self. Nothing can harm him. Nothing can change him. He doesn't have to do anything except be. And he enjoys Why is that? Because it's stated in Vedanta that when one realizes the self, he loses all the vasanas, or the mental tendencies that cause pain. But he retains the ones that cause enjoyment. Well, this is why the jnani experiences uninterrupted bliss, because he does not entertain the movements of the mind that bring suffering. So, when an envious person sees this, they try to bring him down to their level. So what happened? A jnani died, dropped the body, and someone said, "Oh, he has gone to the heavenly abode." No. Look at the chart again. Look at the chart. What heavenly abode is desirable to what level on this chart? Advaitin, some Vishishta Dvaitins, the lower ones, and the Pashus, the animals. They all want to go to heaven and enjoy. Or they want salvation, which means taking a body in the higher planetary system, heaven. A jnani doesn't entertain any such thoughts. He's like, dude, this is it, Everything's perfect just the way it is. Like, chill out. So when a Advaitin leaves the body, there's no cause for lamentation, grief, sadness, or any of those typical mourning, mourning, mourning emotions. Why? Because the body wasn't his. The body wasn't him. It's just a body. We drop the body every night when we go to sleep. What's the problem? Like Ramana says, death is just a thought. So, to describe a jnani as going to a heavenly abode is to drag him down from the ajata platform to a lower level and say, oh no, actually he's a Vishishta Dvaitin, or maybe a Dvaitin, or possibly even a Pashu, because they're the ones who desire to go to heaven. Not the bhaktas. The pure bhaktas don't give a darn for heaven. What to speak of the jnanis. So actually, to address a senior jnani as leaving the body and going to a heavenly abode is an insult. It's an offense. It's an aparādha. It's a disservice. And anyone who does it is going to stop their spiritual advancement. So beware this aparādha. Aparādha. Disservice. Speaking against a senior realized person. This is like the worst thing you can do for your spiritual life. How do you avoid it? Give up envy. You have, or you are, everything he is already. You have all the qualities, you have all the facilities, you have all you need to attain perfect enlightenment this moment. Why don't you? Well, you have other things to do. So the point is, you don't need to envy anybody. Not him, not me, not any jnani or yogi, or bhogi, or even rogi. You don't need to feel jealous or envious of anybody because you already have it all. You just don't know it. Or rather, you distract yourself with other things that cover up your intrinsic purity and enlightenment. So don't blame the messenger. If the messenger comes along and says, hey, you're doing it wrong, speaking on behalf of the guru, don't shoot the messenger. Listen to the guru. Get the message and benefit from it. Om Tat Sat. Aum Harihi Aum.